I've been having fun using the Photoshop Generative Fill tool, where it uses AI to expand an image. And I thought I'd use it on a few Lego sets, well, the box art and some instruction manuals, just to see what AI does with it. In each instance, it'll give you 3 different variants to choose from. So each set will get 3 options that AI thinks suit it. Anyway, these are the sets that are just randomly picked. And this is what Photoshop AI thinks these sets, well, the artwork should look like if expanded. Here's the first one. This is a set from 92, the Solar Snooper, I think, Space Police 2. I mean, that was pretty decent. It's done a good job with the 80s grid in there. I mean, it's tried some minifigures, which don't look too awful. I mean, it's done a good job. It's clearly recognised that sand and the grid on top. It looks pretty cool. The next set, Bionical Hydrax on. I mean, I've never had Bionical. It's a theme that sort of I've not really been interested in. But I thought this image could be interesting. And, I mean, that looks like it could be the real art. I mean, so that one probably looks better. It's got less text. And then the third option that it's gone and given us is this, which is sort of a cross between both. Got weird tentacle. I mean, I think it's done a great job here expanding this. It looks like it could be the real poster if maybe you got rid of all the weird text that's gibberish. But all in all, I think that was quite good. And now here is a more recent set, Botanical Collection Flower Bouquet. I'm interested to see what it does with this. Because maybe it's more obvious it's a box rather than just like a picture of like the set. And it's come with this. It's a bit, I don't get, I mean that one, that looks like it could be sort of the background for the set if the set was, I mean it's done a good job copying the flowers there. And then the third one is, I mean that's just weird. But for that middle one, it's sort of done a good job in sort of copying the flowers. I mean, you could see that as being maybe a Lego advert using that style and more the adult range. And I thought I'd try this one, People. Now, the Photoshop Generative Fill can't really do people. It can't do text. That's where it does a lot of gibberish. And it can't do people. So I'm guessing this is going to be horrendous. But I'm interested to see what it comes up with because, I mean, there's a clear background on it. Sure, it's going to recognise as a people. It's just interesting to see what it's going to do with this Lego city. So the first example, it's, well, that's actually really surprisingly good. I mean, it looks weird if you look at the deep. Again, that's another good one. It's done quite a good job expanding the city's bottom left. And that one, is that the best? It's done something weird with her arm on that one. No, probably that one's the best, the middle one. The last two, I think, it's done a really good job. Expanded the Lego city out and sort of recognised that's a background with 2 kids playing with the Lego. I think it's done quite a good job. This is another, was it 870s set? Wild West Street or something? And again, I mean, that looks good. I mean, they filled in the guy's arm and hair and the top of the boy's head. Another one. In fact, that's possibly even better. You see, again, it's attempts to do some Lego on the table. That's probably the cleanest one. It's even trying to add an extra person there on the right. Again, if you got rid of those weird bits of text, it wouldn't look that strange. I mean, if you squint it, you can see that the original, they've added in the guy's hair and arm, and I'm quite impressed at how well it's handled that. And then it has tried to do a small bit of Lego there on the left, that blue bit. But I mean, it's done quite a fair job there, if a bit creepy of a job. But now here's one, no real people in it. It's the crossbone clipper. So it'd be interesting to see if it recognises this is just a pirate ship and seeing what it adds. And I mean, again, if you ignore the weird text, that looks pretty decent, and that weird straight line at the back. And the next example, this, which is even cleaner. Again, if you get rid of the text at the top, I think that looks really good. And the third example is, again, I think all of those, if you get rid of the text, it's actually, the AI has done a real good job of realising it's a Lego set and created this sort of painted sort of landscape, which does actually fit with the original box art. So overall, if you look at that, it is a painted sort of scene it's on. It's done a real good job with that one. Now for something a bit more sort of just industrial, Technic bulldozer of some kind. I can't remember the exact one, but it'd be interesting to see if it tries to create some Technic of its own. Yeah, I don't know how it's, I guess it's gone, added a few extra numbers. That one's just, yeah. Well, let's try to do some weird Technic stuff there on the left and right. But yeah, so far, I mean, that's quite a weak example, but it was interesting to see what he was going to do with Technic. Anyway, Gungan Patrol. What's it going to do with these Gungans? How is AI going to sort of expand on this? Well, we're going to find out. I'm interested to see if it keeps the banner along the top or if it expands that landscape and adds to it. Maybe if it adds a new Gungans, and no, it's just, it has done what I said, it's expanded the landscape and the banners. Again, landscape and banners, added a few weird blue bits and extra text. And then that's added some weird stuff to it. Bottom left looks like a weird slug alien guy. Is that an attempt at a Gungan bottom left? I don't know. But the first two, if you remove all the text again, it's done a solid job of just expanding it and doing its own interpretation. Now an old set. This is Space Module with Astronauts from 1975. I thought this would be interesting because there's no actual minifigures, it's all block-built people. So I was interested to see what the AI did with that because, yeah, people and minifigures and stuff, it struggles with, but with the blocks, I wonder if it's going to come with any extra blocky stuff and expand that moon surface. So yeah, let's see what it comes up with on this one. And it's done a good job with the moon, and it's added a weird like truck-looking thing on the right. Again, I don't know what that's doing. It seems to recognise sort of the moonness, it's filled that in nicely. And then, yeah, that's just weird, the orange part at the top. Not the best example. So far, I think the pirate ship and strangely the ones with people on it have been sort of the most, the best examples of it. They look the most sort of authentic. Another one, an old classic space set now from 88. It's the Message Intercept base, a classic Blacktron set. Another one, is it going to recognise it's in space? Is it going to keep the crazy grid pattern going like it did on the Space Patrol one, which was from 92? It's expanded the stripe, the Legoland, the grid in the background, had a few spacey features. They did a pretty decent job, that one. Another one, probably more cleaner example, kept that grid going nicely, nothing too crazy. And I mean, they all look pretty clean. If you took away the extra weird text, a few bits, I mean, it looks like it could be from the original photo shoot for it, I'm guessing. Nothing too crazy, but it's done a decent job with that one. I'm quite impressed. And now, a Scara set. This set's just called Kitchen. So it's going to be interesting to see what it does with this, because obviously this is the box and you've got the doll. Let's call them just Scara dolls, I don't know. The doll and like, is it like a weird baby in a little box in the actual image photo here, as well as the picture of it in action. And so let's just see what this comes up with for a Scara set. I mean, I'd guess it's going to have some pink borders on it and then maybe recognise the flowers and stuff. But yeah, basically expanded, created like its own version of the box. And again, it's just expanded sort of the box. A few extra flowers and more pink. Yeah. Another one, some weird, actually looks like a bathroom on the side, left side there. Or is that just me? Anyway, a Scara set, that's what it's done. Now, given how badly it did with the flowers, bunch of flowers from before, I thought I'd try another Botanical Collection, this time the bonsai tree, just to see, is it going to recognise that as a tree in the middle and do something with that? Is it going to think this is just a box and put it like on a shelf or on a wall like it did with the other flower set? Is it going to expand like the black background, create more trees or something? Let's see what it does with this one, because it's, I don't know, it could go either way. It's either going to be really boring, like just the image with like a plain background, like it's a photo on a wall, or it's going to create something absolutely crazy. And then the first example it's going to give us is this. It's created its own Lego sets there. Clearly recognises it's a box of something. Here, it's weird. It's created another bonsai tree, and then a weird glowing metal sun. And then that one's just boring, that one. Just a green square for some reason. I don't get that one. But this first one's quite interesting because it's like, they look like it's tried to create its own set. Especially on the right, it's replicate the green glow, and it's created a creepy man on a platform. I don't know what the sets would be in the Red City set. But yeah, there you go. I had nothing better to do, so I thought I'd expand some Lego set box art. And this is what Photoshop Generative Fill AI came up with.